Okay, so we're talking more about collecting data, sampling, and surveys. This is homework problem from the other night. So this is 3B, part 1. Well, after that is. Okay. Sampling and surveys. SRS, we call a simple random sample. We'll oftentimes use the abbreviation SRS. You need to know what that stands for, simple random sample. I would say it's very important to know this definition. It's got to be a question on the test or review there, quiz, test, that kind of stuff. A size n, a sample is chosen in such a way that every group of n individuals in the population has an equal chance to be selected. So I think the thing that's surprising about the definition, it doesn't say each person has the same chance of being selected, although that's true. Each group of people of any size, a group of 2, group of 3, group of 4, any group of folks of n individuals in the population has an equal chance to be selected. So I think the key thing with simple random sample to keep in mind is you can't group them first. You can't say, okay, I'm going to split this into boys and girls and then choose some folks. That's not a simple random sample. Simple random sample, you got everybody on a list. You randomly choose some of the people on the list, and that's a simple random sample. We use these terms, so sometimes we sample without replacement. So if you have a bag of marbles and you take out a red marble and do not replace it, that is sampling without replacement. So there would be one less marble in the bag for your second pick. When sampling with replacement, means you pick out the marble or whatever it is and look at it, record it, put it back, shake it up and randomize it, and then choose again. So that's not going to have an effect on the next choice. You're going to have the same number of folks in there that you're choosing from. So how to choose it with technology. So you want to label group from 1 to n, randomize, use some kind of random number generator, and then choose individuals that correspond with the selected integer. So you can do that on a TI Nspire by, let's see, this is the home key. Let's insert a calculator page, sorry. Okay, so if you hit menu, it's probably under probability is my guess, and there's random there, and random integer is usually the one I choose. So rand int command. So the way it works is you could say 1, 10. I just want to choose one random number from 1 to 10. It's going to choose a random number every time. The first few times it was 10. It repeats itself, right? Let's say you did the same command and you put a second comma in there. So comma 3. That means I want 3 random integers from 1 through 10. So 4, 10, and 3. If I did it again, I'd get potentially different answers there. So you can use your calculator to generate the random numbers, and then we use those random numbers to choose individuals from those integers. Lots of different ways to do that. We'll talk about a few ways. So let's use a graphic calculator to select simple random sample of 5 students from a population of students numbered 1 through 30. So go to rand int is what they're saying, 5 different labels from 1 to 30. So 1 to 30. So we're going to try that from 1 to 30. So we're going to go. By the way, you can also just type in, let me go. You can also just type in rand int parentheses 1 comma 30 comma 1. If you put comma 1, so it's going to generate. So there we go. We got 5 random numbers: 4, 1, 17, 26, and 30. So we get 5 different integers, like they did, and you get it. And so you would choose those particular folks. So how to use using a table. So sometimes they have a table in there. You want to read from left to right, ignore spaces. These are kinds of things you want to describe. So I like the way they're saying this because I want you to talk like this. So read consecutive digits from left to right, ignore spaces, um, ignore duplicates. You can say ignore duplicates, that's fine. When choosing n different labels. So if we want to choose 5 numbers from 1 to 30, you get a random list, and you can choose which position those numbers are in. So let's say this is your table of random digits. This is what it looks like, by the way. So you can see line 101 there. They labeled the line numbers. That's not the random digits. Those are line numbers on the left. And all these groupings of 5, as you go left to right, are just a completely random group of integers that goes from one to the next. They're kind of grouped that way, so you can kind of figure out which one goes with which. So what do you do with this? So each year, the State Department of Education randomly selects 3 schools from each district and just does an audit, basically, of that. So from the 19 schools, there are 19 schools. So those are the 19 schools. If you're doing this, you want to put numbers to those. So you want to number those guys. So Amphitheater High School, wow, is school number 1. Amphitheater Middle School is school number 2, so forth. So number all 19 schools. And probably from 1 to 19, that makes sense. Label them. Be sure to use, then we're going to randomize. So we're going to use a random table of digits here. So you might have to describe what you're going to do this. Because there's as many as 19, that's a 2-digit number. I'm going to take 2-digit numbers, 2 at a time, from left to right, ignoring repeats, ignoring spaces, and try to get as many different unique numbers as I can. So you can see the first number there would be 62, right? So 62, they say skip. Why did they say skip? I guess for some reason they skipped the first number, but I don't think that's necessary. I think you can select the first. Oh, they're saying because the first. I think you can select the first number. I don't think that's necessary, but you could have specified, I'm going to skip the first number that we come to. I don't think that's necessary, but you could. You can see the next 2 digits are 08. So what I mean by that is just to make sure you're getting this. So if the numbers are, I'm just going to repeat these. So 62081, 64816. You want to notate, and this is what I do. So I go 62 is the number 62, 08 is the number 8. This is the number 16, the number 48. 16, I'm going to ignore that guy. Does it make sense? Because I already have a 16 there, so I'm going to ignore that one. And then you just keep going, right? So you're just kind of, you pick as many as you need to for the problem. I'm not sure if you're picking 4 or 5 or what it is. You're going to select those values until you have a stopping mechanism yet, right? So so why did they skip 48? Oh, I know why they skipped. I didn't think about this. Sorry. So using the random digits, we only have 1 through 19 for schools. This one is moot, right? There is no number 62. 8 is the first number we're going to choose, or you just write the number 8. Second number is 16. That is less than 19. We're going to skip that guy, skip that one because of the 16. So you're just going to keep going until you choose the 5 numbers. So that's why they're skipping. Sorry, it took me a second to figure that out, but there's 19 schools, so 62 is not a school up there. There's only 19 schools, 1 through 19. So you skipped or repeated 16, so we're not going to do that one again. 17 is a winner because it's less than 19. So the first 3 numbers less than 19 that I came to as I went left to right on that list were 8, 16, and 17. Random means using chance. Don't say a sample was chosen at random if it wasn't a chance process that selected them. Okay, you're done with the lesson. Basketball team, I'll just do a few practice problems. Must undergo random drug testing. League officials have decided that each week, 2 of the 12 players be randomly selected for a drug test. Describe how to use a table of random digits to select a simple random sample of players from the list of 12 players. Okay, so you would first, you might say something like, I'm going to number the list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So each name gets a number. Then you do a table of random digits like we had a few minutes ago. And you say, I'm going to read the table of digits 2 digits at a time from left to right. I'm going to ignore any number that's bigger than 12 or any number smaller than 0. And I'm going to just list out the first 2 players that I get to there. So they were a little bit more specific. They said ignoring repeated numbers from 13 to 99 and 00. Use the random numbers here. So take a second to do this. So 64 would be the first number, but that doesn't count because I only want from 2 of the 12 players. So I only want up to 12, right? So not including 0. 06 is less than 12. That counts. 17, no. 63, no. 28, no. 17 counts. 20 doesn't count. 24, 10 counts. So I think you would have those 3 people, the 2 players, actually the 2 players. 6 would be Crum, and then 10 would be Thomas there on the list. Okay, that's your lesson for today.